The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Thursday upheld the election of Monday Okpebholo as the duly elected governor of Edo State, dismissing the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its candidate Asue Ighodalo. A three-member panel led by Justice Mohammed Danjuma unanimously affirmed the ruling of the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which had earlier validated Okpebholo's victory in the 21st September 2024 governorship election. The PDP and Ighodalo had challenged the outcome of the polls on grounds of overvoting, electoral malpractice, and non-compliance with the Electoral Act. However, the appellate court ruled that the appellant failed to prove any of their claims with credible evidence. In echoing the tribunal's earlier judgment, the appeal court held that the PDP and its candidate only dumped documents on the tribunal without demonstrating their relevance or calling witnesses who observed irregularities at the polling units or collation centers. The court noted that while 133 Beavers machines were tendered as exhibits by the PDP, the devices were never powered on or linked to the claims being made. It also ruled that the few witnesses presented by PDP testified on issues unrelated to the core complaint and did not speak about happenings at polling stations. In a critical decision, the appellate court upheld Okpebholo's cross-appeal which challenged the tribunal's earlier acceptance of the Beavers machines. The justices ruled that the tribunal erred by admitting the devices without complying with statutory requirements for documentary evidence, adding that this error amounts to, in quotes, miscarriage of justice. As a result, the court expunged the Beavers machines from the tribunal's records. Both Monday Okpebholo of the All Progressives Congress (APC) and PDP's Asue Ighodalo were absent from Thursday's proceedings. However, Edo State Deputy Governor Dennis Idahosa and PDP State Chairman Tony Aziegbemi were present. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Okpebholo won the election with 291,667 votes, while Ighodalo came second with 247,655 votes. Other candidates in the race secured significantly lower tallies. Speaking to journalists after the ruling, PDP Chairman Tony Aziegbemi rejected the judgment, alleging signs of bias from the justices and promising to escalate the matter to the Supreme Court.
Judgment by the appeal court. Clearly, the appeal was dismissed. Do we agree with the judgment? Of course not. We think even the judges, especially when they started talking, taking out their eyes from what they wrote, you could see some elements of bias in what they were saying. However, we would request that our members stay calm. We will get the CTC. The lawyers will advise. The lawyers will go through it. We will go through it. And nothing stops us from heading to the Supreme Court. And there are so many grounds for the appeal to the Supreme Court. So finally, we wish to tell our members, let the hope keep.
So it's right to say you're appealing the judgment?
We are appealing the judgment.
Thank you very much.
Your name, sir?
I'm Anthony Azegbe.
In contrast, the Edo State Attorney General Samson Osage praised the appeal court decision, describing it as a victory not only for Okpebholo and the APC, but for democracy in the state.
I also want to thank the Court of Appeal for their in-depth judgment today. This is not a news to us in Edo. For Edo, people voted for Monday Okpebholo-led administration. And all these distractions would have been avoided. But at this point, I want to call on my elder brother, Asue Ighodalo, to embrace this judgment. And let's come together as one family to develop Edo. That's what we stand for. But I will not stop without congratulating my principal, the executive governor of Edo State, as Senator Monday Okpebholo, and the amazing people of Edo who voted for us.
Describing it as a victory not only for Okpebholo and the APC, but for democracy in the state.
Saw the erudition with which the Court of Appeal dismissed the appeal against the tribunal judgment of 2nd April against the Edo State governorship election. Now, we now have a double victory. Governor Monday Okpebholo has again been victorious in this appeal. And the Court of Appeal has aptly captured it by saying that their petition in the first instance lacked merit, as they did not prove their case of overvoting and no compliance with the Electoral Act. It means at this point in time, even though another window is still open to the Supreme Court, the two lower courts now have concurrently held that the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo is unassailable and upheld at this point in time. It's victory for Edo State, it's victory for the All Progressive Congress, and it's victory for democracy in Edo State.
The Election Petition Tribunal, chaired by Justice Winifred Kuchi, had earlier dismissed Ighodalo's petition in its April 2nd judgment. The tribunal held that the PDP and its candidate failed to bring credible witnesses, such as polling unit agents or INEC officials, to substantiate their claims. The panel concluded that the petitioners merely submitted documents without linking them through witnesses who could speak to their contents or the events on election day.
Their appeal was thrown out and the cross petition of the governor was upheld. And in the decision of the unanimous decision of the appeal court today, they enumerated a lot of issues and said, how can a petitioner say that an election should be nullified? One breath. In another breath, they are saying that they should be declared a winner. And that it was a mere academic exercise. And so the appeal was dismissed on the merits. And I said it before this time that the issue of beavers were mainly, they came and dumped beavers at the tribunal. Though the tribunal at their wisdom were admitted, but the Court of Appeal, in the cross appeal of the governor, they upheld the cross appeal and threw away those beavers.
Both the tribunal and the appeal court have now ruled that the PDP failed to prove any substantial non-compliance with electoral laws. Although the Court of Appeal's verdict is a major win for Governor Okpebholo, the PDP still has one final legal option: an appeal to the Supreme Court, which has the final say in governorship election disputes in Nigeria. For now, Okpebholo's mandate remains firmly intact, affirmed by both the tribunal and the appellate court. Oluwatobieni reporting for TV Platinum.